Huge news. Davante Adams, Vegas receiver, he wants out. He wants to be traded, according to the Raiders. Antonio Brown said, yo, we will trade you. There's no bigger story in sports than the one we're about to discuss. No bigger name in sports than the Cowboys. That's one of the teams Davante Adams wants to go to. But get this, the Cowboys got no interest in him. Y'all got to make that make sense. Again, turn up your volumes, relax into your chair. We appreciate you being here. A jam-packed show. James Jones, you know a lot about Davante Adams. Chase Daniel, you played quarterback, so you know a lot about great receivers. But Shady McCoy, you know a lot about the Cowboys. So I'm starting with you. Okay. Are the Cowboys making a huge mistake not going all in on Davante Adams?
I don't think so. You know, people only think about just, okay, the stats and the players' names, but it's all about gelling. It's all about having that bond and chemistry as a player. I look at, like, different teams I played on. I played with some really, really good players, especially wide receivers. And I just can imagine, if you have 2 top 5 receivers, what would that look like, right? Because everybody's not cool with taking the back seat, taking the second role. Yeah. And right now, Davante Adams is still, in my opinion, an elite receiver and a top-tier guy. And then they got CeeDee Lamb, who exactly is that. Yes. And I'm wondering, like, okay, where it's a gimme down, a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, we throwing it. Who's the ball go to? Yep. They playing man. They both play playing man. Who are you going to go to? And that might cause some friction in the locker room because Dak has a super great relationship with CeeDee Lamb, right? I know CeeDee will talk to him, and they love each other, right? But then you got this super talented wide receiver that's a little older, that's still a beast. And Davante Adams, do you go to him? And as a quarterback, you know that best. There's always that type of friction. Yep. You know, I play with guys like Jeremy Maclin and Deshaun Jackson. Now, they were different tiers of players, right? But they're really, really good.
Good compliment.
And there were times where we had gimme downs, and we know who the ball's going to. It's going to Deshaun Jackson. And there's times when Macklin would get them passes, and DJ wouldn't be mad, but he'd be like, all right, now, hey, okay, hey, good job, Mac. hey, Mike, hey, Vic, hey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that, like, every situation is different. So I don't think it's a bad move that they're not, you know, proceeding to go out there and get him. But another thing is, on defense, y'all got so many other issues to worry about than just the offense. Yeah. Teams is running for 200-plus yards on your defense. So before we go to the offense, let's get the defense solid first.
I mean, you hit it right on.
Yeah, it's that type of morning, dog. I got the ego on my chest.
Like props, bro, because like I think it would be a mistake if they actually signed him. I don't think that Davante Adams fixes the Dallas Cowboys' problems. In fact, what Shady was saying, it might make it worse from a quarterback perspective when you're having to. I know Brandon Cooks is out, but Brandon Cooks needs his targets. CeeDee Lamb making $34 million a year. He needs his targets. Davante's going to get targets and to get a win. Okay, there's 2 glaring holes. First, run game. The Cowboys have 0. When I say 0 run game, okay, they have none. Right now they're rushing for 75 yards a game. Wow. If that ended up at the end of their season, you see right here, 75.3 yards a game, it would be the fewest in a season in Cowboys history. In the history of the biggest brand in football, if they ended today, it would be the fewest rush yards per game they would ever have in a season. And we're talking about adding another star receiver. And then you go over to the defensive line. Micah Parsons out for a while. DeMarcus Lawrence out for a while. They're soft in the pants a little bit, like you were saying. They're getting drove back. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me to have a receiver added to the Cowboys when there's much bigger holes everywhere else.
I disagree vehemently.
Ooh.
This one?
Yeah. And now.
Come on, dog. We got to stay strong.
Here is why. And no, everything y'all said is brilliant. It's eloquent. But viewers at home, pay attention as I try to talk to Chase and Shady for a little bit. They're making a huge mistake for this reason. First, I will start with the aspect of Cowboys fans. Jerry Jones, if y'all are Super Bowl contenders and want to be, look at previous Super Bowl winners. They've all made trades during the course of the season. Last year, the Chiefs, Mecole Hardman. The year before, the Chiefs, Kadarius Toney. The year before, the Rams, Von Miller, Odell Beckham. The year before, the Bucks, Antonio Brown wasn't necessarily traded for, but he was signed off the street. The year before, the Chiefs, once again, Terrell Suggs. It was a 37-year-old Terrell Suggs, but Alex Okafor is starting the end for the Chiefs. Torres Peck, my former teammate in Week 15. Super Bowl champs, they make trades during the season. Cowboys, look at the history of Super Bowl champs. If you want to be them, act like them. But most importantly, Chase, I had a teammate, John Dorenbos. You may have played with you as well. John Dorenbos.
John Dorenbos.
Exactly right.
Man, he's funny.
Phenomenal dude. So John Dorenbos, he's a magician. He was a long snapper for the Philadelphia Eagles. I asked him one time about magic. And he told me this, James Jones. He said magic is all about distraction. I act like I messed up the trick, but I didn't actually mess up the trick. You're just thinking that I messed up the trick, and I'm actually going to do the trick. Signing Davante Adams, I believe, would be the distraction that the Cowboys need. Not literally. Here's what I mean. The defense is bad, but the run defense is bad. But if you can acquire Davante Adams and thus take a lead, you will distract the opponent from the aspect of your run defense being bad because the opponent won't have the time to run the ball because if you have a lead, now the opponent is playing catch-up. The Cowboys' run defense was bad last year. Don't get it twisted. The Cowboys' defensive players are the same as they were last year.
See what he's doing
but
here,
if
Shady?
you take a lead, now we can't realize that your run defense is bad because we got to throw the ball to try to catch up. Micah was there last year. DeMarcus was there last year. Mozzie Smith was there last year. He was just younger. The linebackers were worse last year because Van Der Esch got hurt and DeMarvion Overshown got hurt. Everything was the same last year, but the Cowboys had a great offense, so we didn't know how bad the run defense was. I just need to use that sleight of hand.
Let me go before you be honest.
Sleight of hand is what you're doing.
Yo, I'm not going to listen. You just distracted the viewers. That was nice, though.
Yo,
Don't fall for that. He just gave you all this. Don't go for that.
Oh, my
Yo,
Lord.
he said, listen, man, if you get Davante Adams right, no matter how much the defense is letting them go for 200 yards a game, get y'all. We got Davante.
You're John Dorenbos.
Yo, that was good, dog. Whoa.
You know what's crazy in this whole situation, though?
That take?
No.
Oh, wait, which one? Okay.
What's crazy in this whole situation is I sit up here and I listen to my dog over there.
Keep it real.
Keep it real and say,
That's right.
why y'all always talk about the underdogs? You need superstar players on your team in this league. Right. I hear him say that all the time. Another thing I hear him say, because, you know, even though when he thinks I ain't listening and he thinks I'm arguing with him and debate, I be listening. And he told me, man, when I had Deshaun Jackson and Macklin in Philly, the run game was a whole lot different. When I went to Buffalo and we didn't have these weapons out there, it's a bunch of people in the box. I know they don't have a LaShawn McCoy in Philly, but if you got a Tay and a CD out there, man to man if you want to, you better have some safeties in the back to be able to guard these dudes, and now we possibly could run this football. Coach Mike drafted Davante Adams. He knows exactly who Davante Adams is, not just as a player, but as a person. So he knows that D.A. ain't going to come in there and be no distraction to CeeDee Lamb. D.A. is a superstar now, but D.A.'s been a number 3 and a number 2 and a number 1. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is he knows how to handle it. But on the flip side of it, you have to throw the ball 30-plus times. You are not going to be a running team. You have to throw the ball 30-plus times, which means both these dudes can be happy. It ain't going to be 20 targets going to CeeDee Lamb and 2 going to D.A. You're throwing the ball a lot with no run game. Davante Adams makes so much sense for the Dallas Cowboys to not only help them offensively, but to help them on the defensive side of the ball, too. But not only that, just show us you trying, though, dog.
I don't think it's a bad move, right? I just think that, how does it fit? Because I'm looking for Davante Adams' standpoint of his career, right? Because he's not a young chicken no more, but he is still nice.
No doubt.
And even though it is opportunities to go around, but what happens when I am the guy here? When I walk into Dallas, number 88, CeeDee Lamb is the guy on offense. And what happens when the ball may go the other way to Davante Adams certain times, right? Because you're only speaking on, okay, as men, we got to put that beside and just be teammates. But that's not reality, though, James. You know that. My thing is, when you watch the way the Cowboys run their offense, they are always scheming ways to get 88 free, right? Inside, outside, everything. So now when Davante is, you doing this scheming, but I'm getting busy over here as a number 1, you like, yo, man, what's going on? That's just the nature of the game.
I hear what you're saying, but my thing is it's all about if I'm getting the ball, period. If I'm going through a game, Shady, and I got 10 catches and it's 3rd and 1 and the ball go to DA, it ain't like I'm not getting it. Now, I understand what you're saying. Hey, if I got to come out of the game and I got 3 targets and Tay got 16, hold up. You know what I'm saying?
But you said something interesting. You said that, Tay has been a number 3 before. That's years ago.
But what I'm saying is...
There ain't no 3s, 2s going on.
Yeah, he's
right?
the
And then another thing you got to think about real quick is I can tell you about to myself when we signed Reggie Bush in Buffalo. Now, I was a starter, right? I just came off a Pro Bowl, but Reggie Bush is a big name. So I was like, what's going on? What we doing around here? What y'all thinking? Okay, cool. So now every time I'm on the field, I play even harder because I want to let y'all know that we don't need no other back.
No doubt.
Same thing with CeeDee Lamb. Like, even though it may not be talked about, but it's the competitive nature and the superstar players like, yo, you bringing him over here? Now, I will say this. Maybe Dallas should go out there and get a really, really good number 2, right?
Yeah.
I think if you bring that other superstar in there, right, it's a different level. Like, if the Bills would go out to get Davante, even the Jets. I think the Jets, Garrett Wilson's probably number one, but he's still younger. He's still trying to.
Hadn't been paid.
Yeah, haven't been paid. He's trying to get to that level of I'm an elite receiver. We don't know if he's that yet. That's a better situation than going to a team where we got a number one bona fide player in the building.
All I know is playing the receiver spot. If I'm getting my targets, it is what it is.
What if you don't get your targets and you want to?
That's when it's a problem. But what I'm saying is I'm not going to be sitting here like, man, I got 12 targets in the game. I got 10 catches. Oh, shoot, they threw the ball to DA on 3rd and 2. I'm not going to be sitting there now. If I come into the game and it's like, man, DA got 10 targets, I got 2, then yeah, that's a situation. But I don't even think Dak Prescott will put CeeDee Lamb in that position. You know what I'm saying?
How hard is that position in? Chime in.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just think it's a distraction if you sign Davante Adams to the Cowboys. Like, do the Cowboys need any more distractions? No, they're 2-2. They're not playing where their defense is awful. They can't run the football. They're protecting Dak while Dak's having to do it all. You lose Brandon Cooks, you lose Micah Parsons, you lose DeMarcus Lawrence, and then you come and sign him, and then you don't win with Davante? Think about it from the Cowboys' perspective. It's a ton of money, first of all. Second of all, it's going to cause more of a distraction if he doesn't play well. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, look, play this too high safety look. Davante's going to eat. CD's going to eat.